So the conflict-free process helps the homeowner because the homeowner gets to be involved from the very beginning and all along the way as the project is being developed. Not only in terms of giving the ideas of what they want the project to look like, but in terms of what is acceptable as far as cost. It also allows the homeowner to really do some serious thinking about what are the most important elements of the project, because if it ends up being that the entire project is going to be outside the budget, the homeowner can determine what parts of it are most important, that they're willing to spend money on but compromise in another area. An example I have, we've actually done multiple projects using this process. In one, our kitchen, we used beams that were actually beams from a barn, which were more expensive because we had to have them shipped down, but it was important to us because of the feel they gave in the kitchen. We added on a great room where we also had beams, and we looked at, well, do we want to use these same kind of beams that come out of an old barn, or can we go with something that's less expensive, that's just constructed to look like beams? And in that case, it made more sense to go with a less expensive option. They were higher up, you couldn't see them as well, it was more kind of an architectural thing. The homeowner's involved from the beginning, so they are able to see the project develop and how much each piece of the project is going to be, so that they understand at the end where the money is being spent. And they have confidence that that's a realistic number, that they're not going to have to worry about some huge hit because the research hadn't been done in the beginning to make sure that all of the bases were covered. I was comfortable paying the estimate for the bid on the project because I knew that it was going to be credited against the ultimate cost of the construction, but also because, frankly, I would have felt kind of guilty about the amount of time that the contractor's having to put into developing the project, because there is so much time spent with the homeowner and with the designer. In addition, you end up with a document that, even if you ultimately don't use that contractor, it's a document that you can use to evaluate other bids, and I think it's worthwhile as an investment. Because when you think about it, when you're remodeling your home, you are actually putting out a lot of cash for that and improving the value of your home. And I think that kind of an investment is worth spending some money to make sure you're using your money wisely. The conflict-free process helps to address one additional stress, and that is helping the homeowner be prepared for what the actual remodeling project is going to be like, because the contractor sits down with you and explains how the house is going to be affected by the remodeling, so that the homeowner can make a determination of whether or not they want to stay in the home or not. We actually went through 2 remodelings where we stayed in the house, but only because we had really worked with a contractor to figure out how to close the house off so that we would still have our privacy and how we could continue to live in our space with minimal impingement from the construction process. In one of them, we actually redid our kitchen, and the contractor set up a temporary kitchen for us in a bedroom so that we were not nearly as severely impacted as we might have been. We weren't cooking with a microwave. If there were one thing that I could tell a homeowner about the conflict-free process, it would be that it helps to reduce the uncertainty that surrounds remodeling. That being said, I mean, there are always things that end up coming up, especially when you're adding on or remodeling an existing home. We had, with all the work that we did into getting ready to remodel our kitchen, we discovered once the project had started that there was dry rot in the floor when we were taking the floorboards up. Well, that was something we couldn't have anticipated, but it's nice to know that you really have done so much research at the front end that many of those kind of surprises are minimized, and so it makes it just that much more unusual for something to come up. And I think that gives the homeowner a certain amount of comfort, and again, relieves the stress that can occur with remodeling. And so I don't know why homeowners wouldn't use this process, because it really helps reassure them in terms of how much they're going to spend, what it's going to be like to live through, and what the finished project is going to end up looking like.